All right, so we have a lot of products to get through today. We're gonna take a look at all the cameras, recorders, and the monitors. So we're just gonna jump into this real fast. Here we have our turret. This is the 4 megapixel turret. Again, these come in 2 megapixel and 4 megapixel. We have the weatherproof grommet, the mounting hardware, the drill template, all your quick start guides and paperwork, all that fun stuff in here. What we're interested in is this turret. It's about the same size as a regular fixed lens Uniview turret. In fact, yeah, let me go grab one. So just for size reference here, you can see these are roughly the same size, same general design. Obviously, you're gonna have different logos there, the Uniview and the UniArch. But size-wise, these are almost identical. The biggest difference is going to be in the weight. This thing right here is the standard Uniview turret is pretty heavy because this is an all-metal, very rugged body. This is all plastic, and so it's going to be much lighter, much easier to install. The downside with that is if you take a regular Uniview turret, right now I can turn this around because it's not like tightened, but it is still pretty tough to move around. This, you can't really tighten it into place, so it's always going to be this easy to just turn that lens wherever you want it to go. So when you go out and install these, just be sure to install these in an area that is not easily accessible, because yeah, anyone can just come along and really easily turn that down. So just be sure this is not easily accessible, and you should be good. Other than that, this lightweight design, like, it almost feels like I'm holding nothing right now. Just a bunch of air. We got a 2.8 millimeter lens there. We have our IR window. The IR is roughly 100 feet in range, which is good for a small camera like this that's pretty lightweight. It's got IP67 weatherproof rating, so even though the body is plastic and it's very lightweight, the elements are still going to have a hard time getting in there. This is going to be very protected against the weather. You can install this anywhere. We got the pigtail, which gives us a 12 volt DC power supply and a RJ45 Ethernet connection. And to install this, it's really easy. You can see here on the side we have this unlock icon next to an arrow. All you have to do is find the other arrow, which is right here underneath the slot for the cable. We're going to line those up, and once we do, it just pops right off of there. And we can take this out and install this wherever we need to. I like that it has 3 slots instead of 3 holes, so installation for this is going to be easy and flexible. One thing I do like about the build of this turret is the ball and the socket, this sleeve here, are like locked together. If you've installed many turrets before, you'll know, well, I'll just show you here. It's the same unlocking process for this standard Uniview turret. The difference is it gets tightened into place with this screw. And once that comes off of there, you'll see that this ball and this sleeve are completely separate. So you have to like hold this in there. I mean, it can definitely become a hassle. I don't know. I just like that with this, the ball and the sleeve are like, you can hold on to just the sleeve and that thing's not going anywhere. If you need to, you can give it a little bit of pressure and pop this out. So you can have 2 separate pieces if you need to, but I don't know. I like that it is solidly attached even when it's not screwed into your plate here. All right, that's our turret. Let's throw all of that aside and bring our bullet in here. Now, the turret was about the same size as a regular fixed lens Uniview turret. That's not the case with the bullet here. As we pull this out of its little wrapper, we can see that this is, it's actually really small. I don't know if you can tell without much reference, but I do have a standard fixed lens Uniview bullet here. So yeah, you can see that there is quite a difference between the size of these 2 cameras. This is going to be much smaller. It's going to have a much smaller footprint, and just like the turret, this thing is all plastic, so it is incredibly light. This bullet is all metal, so it's actually pretty heavy. This also has the 2.8 millimeter fixed lens. This also has the IR windows there, which reach about 100 feet. It's also IP67 weatherproof. The difference between the turret and the bullet is you can't just manipulate this with your hand. You do need to have a Phillips head screwdriver to unscrew these screws to give you access to the 3-axis angle adjustment. You can spin it around without a screwdriver, just with this knob. But if you want to actually turn the head around and aim the camera, you will need access to a Phillips head screwdriver. So it's a little bit more secure in that respect. In terms of the pigtail, just like the turret, we have just our RJ45 connection and our 12 volt DC connection. Both the bullet and the turret can be powered with PoE, so you probably won't even be using that 12 volt DC connection, but it's there if you need it. So that is our two cameras, our UniArch bullet and our UniArch turret. Both of these are available in 4 megapixel or 2 megapixel. So it really depends on your preferences, your client's needs, and all of that. Let's move on to the NVR. And here are the two NVRs that we have. I already have everything pulled out of the boxes here. We have an NVR that has the integrated PoE switch. You can see this is a 4-channel NVR. And we also have a UniArch NVR with no PoE switch in the back. And this particular model is a 16-channel. So you can see the 16-channel and the 4-channel, they are the exact same size, the exact same housing. Everything is going to be the same between these two recorders, just with the exception of that PoE switch in the back. One thing that is different is it comes with 2 different power supplies. If you get the 4-channel with the integrated PoE switch, that is going to take a 48 volt DC connection. So you've got your AC power cord here, your AC to DC converter, and this is a 48 volt power supply. The 16-channel, since it does not have that PoE switch, is only going to take a 12 volt DC power supply. Also included in the box will be your NVR mouse. I kind of like the design of this mouse. It looks pretty cool. Let's take a look at the back of the NVR. Aside from the PoE switch, we also have our LAN connection where you will connect your recorder to the network. We have our 2 USB 2.0 connections, one for your mouse, one for a flash drive. We have a little audio out connection there, and we have our HDMI video out and our VGA video out. And here we have our 48 volt power supply connection. The 16 channel is going to be pretty much the same. Again, no PoE switch, but we do have audio out, we do have our LAN connection, we have our 2 USB ports, our HDMI video out, VGA video out, and our 12 volt DC power supply connection. Both of these NVRs have a slot for 1 hard drive, and it can hold up to 6 terabytes of data storage. If you buy an NVR from us, you have the option of adding on a hard drive. If you do that, we will install this for you free of charge. You'll get it shipped, everything will be put together and ready to go. If you're going to be installing the hard drive yourself, keep in mind that the cable connections, which usually come included in the box, are actually already inside your NVR plugged up. So all you need to do is open this up, install the hard drive, and you're good to go. These NVRs are capable of recording up to 4K, even though none of our UniArch models at this time support 4K recording. The NVR does, so the NVR is future-proof, either when we do get UniArch models in that are 4K, or if you add other cameras to this from UniView or other third-party cameras, since this does support ONVIF and 4K recording, you shouldn't have any issues upgrading your security system later on. One last product we need to talk about, and that is the UniArch monitors. So when it comes to monitors, we do have a couple of options here. We have our 22-inch monitor, and we also have our 24-inch monitor over here, which we'll unbox in a second. This does come with everything you need, the power supply. It also comes with an HDMI cable. These are really nice little monitors. You can see the screen is pretty matte, so it's anti-reflective. You'll be able to see very little glare on this matte screen. It also comes with the base here. The base is really easy to install and clip in there, so you can just easily set this on a desk. It's also VESA mountable, and we do have a UniArch mount available as well. When it comes to video input, this does take HDMI and VGA. It does not come with the VGA cable, only the HDMI cable. So yeah, these are great monitors. Let's take out this 24-inch and see what we're working with. We have our 12-volt DC power supply. We have the base arm for mounting this to our base. We have the HDMI cable here. We also have the base, which it's really easy to install this arm. You just pop it in there and twist it, and it's ready to go, ready to hold your monitor. And here we have the monitor. It looks very similar to the 22-inch. Obviously it's bigger, and the screen is more edge to edge. You can see here the screen is inset into this monitor design. With the larger 24-inch, the screen is almost edge to edge. Let's clip this onto our base. It's really easy to do. It really just slides in there, pops into place. So there's our two monitors. True color, vivid colors, which we'll be able to see when we hook them up here in a second. They are designed for 24/7 use with really low power draw. Another cool thing though is if true color isn't that important to you, you can also turn on a low blue light mode, which means using these monitors, you can filter out all the blue light. So that could be easier on the eyes, especially if this is going to be installed 24/7. If people are going to be looking at it a lot, that blue light filter mode feature really can come in handy. So now we've taken a look at all of these products individually. Let's go ahead and get a system set up so we can see how everything interacts and works together to create a nice, user-friendly, consumer-oriented security system.